For a long time, I didn't think calm counted as success. Success looked, well, busy, decisive, maybe even impressive. It looked like momentum, constant moving, visible progress that other people could recognize. Calm felt, though, kind of suspicious. Like maybe I wasn't pushing hard enough. Maybe I had settled for something. Maybe I was missing something important. But over time, especially as my life begins to change in ways I can't rush or control, my definition of success is starting to shift. Not because I've lowered the bar, no, but because I've finally noticed what it cost me to live without calm and what it gives me when I stop chasing everything else. We don't live in a culture that celebrates calm. We celebrate achievement, visibility, urgency. We reward people who move fast, who decide quickly and then keep going, even when it's clearly unsustainable. Calm doesn't look productive on the outside. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come with a title. It doesn't make a good headline. So I learned to not trust it, to not trust the calm. If things felt calm, I wondered what was missing. If my nervous system wasn't on alert, I questioned whether I'd lost my edge. I didn't understand that calm wasn't the absence of ambition. It was the absence of constant internal pressure. And that difference for me eventually changed everything. What I've learned is that calm isn't passive. Calm is what happens when your inner world stops bracing for impact. It's the moment you realize you're no longer scanning the horizon for the next problem or the next thing that you need to prove. For me, calm showed up gradually, not all at once, and definitely not dramatically. It showed up when I stopped explaining myself so much, when I stopped rushing decisions just to relieve discomfort, when I stopped equating urgency with importance. Now I'm learning that calm doesn't mean nothing is happening. Rather, it means I'm finally able to hear myself think. And that's new. Before calm, I lived in a low-grade state of activation, always slightly on edge, always anticipating the next thing that somebody was going to ask or that I was going to ask of myself. Always managing expectations, mine and everyone else's. I told myself that was just how capable people lived. But I now know that capability without calm comes at a price. It costs sleep. It costs clarity. It costs joy you don't even realize that you're missing. When I look back now, I can see how much energy I spent managing my own internal noise. Calm doesn't make me smaller. It makes me more precise. I waste less energy proving, less energy performing, less energy reacting. And that, unexpectedly, makes me stronger. One of the things I didn't expect about calm is how discerning it is. When I'm calm, I notice things faster, not slower. I notice what feels kind of off. I notice when something doesn't fit. I notice when a yes would cost more than what I'm willing to pay. Calm doesn't numb intuition. It sharpens it. Without the noise of urgency, I can tell the difference between excitement and anxiety, desire and pressure, opportunity and obligation. That kind of clarity used to feel elusive, like I couldn't get to it. Now I know it was buried under all the noise. At this stage of my life, success looks different. Success looks like waking up without being worried, without dread, without anxiety. It looks like making decisions without rushing. It looks like relationships that don't require me to stay on guard. Calm tells me that my life is aligned enough that I don't need to force movement or momentum. It tells me I'm not at war with my own choices. And maybe most importantly, calm tells me that I trust myself. That trust didn't come from achieving more. It came from surviving enough seasons to know what I no longer need. So, if your life feels quieter than it used to, if you're less interested in pushing and more interested in breathing, if calm has started to feel like relief instead of boredom, I want to say this clearly to you. You're not losing your edge. You're gaining discernment. Calm is not the absence of ambition. Rather, it's the presence of self-trust. And at this stage of life, that might be one of the most underrated forms of success that there could be. So there it is, the calm after the storm. That's all for now. And this conversation is part of a longer series that I'm doing this season called Quiet Endings and Honest Beginnings. Have a look. The playlist link is in the description. Bye for now.